QSD from the Denver Radio Club. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club Net, being held on repeater W0TX. This is a meeting held on the air every Sunday evening at about 8:30 p.m. Good evening. My name is Jim. My call sign is Kilo Zero, Tango Oscar Romeo. I'll be your net control station transmitting from Littleton, Colorado. If there's any emergency or priority traffic during this net, say break at any pause, and the net will be suspended until the emergency or priority traffic is completed. This net is for Denver Radio Club members and all interested radio amateurs. We're here to share information concerning any ham-related activities. Regular meetings of the Denver Radio Club are held on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. And with the COVID-19 restrictions, at least at the Jefferson County Administration Courts building, we're still doing virtual meetings. So we use Google Meets, and our next meeting is going to be June the 16th. And if you need to get on that, or you'd like to get on that monthly meeting, you can go on our website, and there'll be an address there as to how you can get on Google Meet so you can join us. Or if you're on our mailing list, you'll get an invitation with an address included in that. So we certainly invite anybody that wants to join us. I'll always have a good technical session. Next meeting will be June 16th, and an Elmer session is held at 6 p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. This session addresses any amateur radio questions that you might have. So whether you're new to amateur radio or interested in some new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday when our monthly meeting is held, there's a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.625 megahertz. This is another area where you can find answers for your amateur radio-related questions. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communication for the Salvation Army, the City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, the City of Lakewood Police Department, West Metro Fire District, and St. Anthony's West Hospital. We're always looking for members who would like to participate in this support. Please contact our club president if you'd like to help. Our current president is Jerry Billhauer, W0GV. Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club website address is www.w0tx.org. Again, Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Volunteer Examiner Program. If you have a need for VE testing, we try to put out the VE team test locations and times information here on this net. We also publish that for the Denver Radio Club on our club website, and other clubs in the area. Much of that is also relayed on this net as well. So if you're looking for an area to take your test, stay tuned, and we'll try to keep you apprised of what's going on here in the area and where you might find a test site. If you have other questions, certainly contact your VE team lead, Tom Koshalski. His call is KC2CAG, and his phone is 720-284-1911. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TR serving as net control. Are there any special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now.
N0ETV, brief announcement.
N0ETV, Lance, go ahead with your announcement. I do have you checked in, and Lance, I did leave you a message on your answering machine this morning after we talked this morning, so you might check that too. But go ahead with your announcement, Lance.
N0ETV, Lance and Aurora. Yesterday morning, our Mile High VE team held a test session at HRO. We had 3 test takers, and we awarded 1 tech and 1 general. We noticed that the number of people participating in exams has dropped considerably. At one time, we were testing up to 13 people during a session, and now we're down to 3. I'd like to hear from other VE teams as to their participation levels. While I was at HRO, I also noticed that the main sales floor is now open to the general public. Employees are wearing masks, but shoppers that are coming and going may or may not be wearing masks. Evidently, it's your own discretion. N0ETV, back to net control.
All right, thanks for your announcement, Lance. N0ETV, this is K0TR. One more call. Any other announcements? Where bulletins for the net? If so, please call now.
November 0 Delta Bravo Sierra.
November 0 DBS, go ahead with your announcement, and I got you checked in.
Good evening, and thank you. The Laurel Patriot Net now has a website, W0PCT. There you can check on testing sessions and other valuable information. This is N0DBS, back to net.
And N0DBS, this is K02R. Thank you for your announcement. And one more call. Do we have any other announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? Please call now.
This is N0DBS with an addendum.
Yes, go ahead.
I forgot to confirm with Lance that our participation has been down somewhat, but we operate so many sites, it's very difficult to tell exactly how far down it is. N0DBS, back to net.
All right, N0DBS, this is K02R. And I'll wait just a minute here to see if we have any other announcements before I move on. Any other traffic or bulletins for the net? Please call now. All right, for regular check-ins, I'd like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the Denver Radio Club net this evening. During this net, we disable the requirement for the 100 Hz PL repeater access tone, so you can use either 145.490 megahertz with a minus 600 kilohertz offset, or 448.625 megahertz with a minus 5 megahertz offset. Are there any visiting radio amateurs who would like to check into the Denver Radio Club net tonight? If so, please call now.
This is W6HTG, just tuned in. I guess I'll check in.
All right, I believe it's W6HTV, this K02R. Could I get a first name, please?
It's W6 WHTG, and first name is Alex.
All right, welcome to the net tonight, Alex, and W6HTG. Sorry about that, but sounded like you just happened to run across us, so we're always curious about how people find us. I guess in your case it just happened to be potluck. So welcome to the net, and join us any Sunday evening if you can. We're pleased to have you join us. We meet here every Sunday evening, and always enjoy visitors, and if there's anything that we could help in any regard relative to amateur radio, please feel free to ask. That's what the hobby is all about, and that's what our club is all about. So, all right, let me make one more call. Do we have any other visitors that would like to join us this evening? If so, please call now. All right, next I'd like to welcome and invite any newly licensed or recently upgraded radio amateurs to check in. Please call now. I'll now take regular check-ins in groups, and please let me know if you have traffic when you check in. I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin with letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
Bravo Sierra. This is Barb in Wheat Ridge. No traffic.
Kilo Bravo 0 Alpha Mike Juliet Baby 0 AMJ Clyde in Arvada. No traffic.
November 5 Charlie Mike Kilo Greg in Denver. No traffic.
Kilo Sierra 0 Echo KS 0E Alex in Denver.
W0TX Repeater.
WD0 CIV Charles in Denver. No traffic.
And at Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. And started off with a double, and I believe I picked out both of them. Let's see here. First I had K0DPR Paul and double with W0BKS Barb, and then I got behind. I believe next was K0AFJ. Is that a correct call? And I missed the name. think I had the call sign messed up here. I think I copied KB0AJM. Is that correct?
Kilo Bravo 0 Alpha Mike Juliet.
All right, we got her that time. Sorry for that. Having trouble here with my pencil as well. But let's see, next I believe I had N5JMK. That's correct. I do need a name, please.
Yeah, Jim, it's November 5, Charlie, Mike, Kilo. Name is Greg.
All right, N5, Charlie, Mike, Kilo, Greg. We got that. And next I had KS0E, Alex, and W0CIV, Charles. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
Kilo Alpha 5 Delta Kilo Sierra, Ken in Arvada.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo Alex Brownfield.
KC0CZ Bob and Thornton.
Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie K1 DBC Drone with traffic.
And net control, like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KA5 DKS Ken, KF0E Alex, KC0CZ Bob, and K1 DBC Drone. Move on down to alphabet, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now.
Alpha 0 Juliet Kilo, AA0 JK, Fred in Arvada. Good evening, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Sierra Yankee, Dan in Denver, no traffic.
November 0 Foxtrot Alpha Kilo, Rich, Aurora, no traffic.
November 1 Golf Uniform Mike, Peter in Littleton.
Kilo 6 Hotel Juliet Victor, Tom, Arvada, no traffic.
And net control, like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. AA0JK Fred, KF0FSY Dan, N0FAK Rich, and N1GUM, N1GUM, and I missed the name. I got a burst right on top when you said your name. If you come back with that, please.
My name is Peter, Papa Echo Tango Echo Romeo.
Thank you, N1GUM Peter, appreciate that. And lastly, I had K6HJV Tom. We'll make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now. All right, we'll move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
Whiskey 0, Lima Foxtrot, Orland and Golden, no traffic, over. Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Sierra India, Tom Heinwinds Ranch, no traffic. Kilo 0, Kilo Papa Sierra, Kevin, Lakewood.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. WW0LF Orland, KE0OSI Tom, and K0KPS Kevin. Make second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
W0TX Repeater.
WG0N, Dave in Lakewood.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. WG0 Ed and Dave. Move on down the alphabet, and radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin at letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Sierra Hotel Romeo. This is Stan in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Romeo Victor Zulu, John in Lakewood, no traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. WB2SHR Stan, KE0RVZ John, and N0TRP Jim. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now. And radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
KF0UV, Marshall and Glendale.
Good evening, all. November 6, Whiskey Hotel Victor, Dick in Arvada.
Kilo 0, Yankee Echo Sierra, Ken in Broomfield.
November 0, X-Ray Romeo X-Ray, Mark in Arvada. No traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Kilo Victor, Bill in Lakewood.
Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KF0UV Marshall, N6WHV Dick, K0YES Ken, N0XRX Mark, and KE0YKV Bill. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
November 0, Golf Tango Golf, Kurt in Denver, out of sequence.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. N0GTG Kurt. We'll open up the entire alphabet. Radio amateurs call suffixes beginning letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now. All right, it'll be a chance for late check-ins a little bit later in the net. And I'd like to turn the net over to our club vice president, Kevin Smith, KD0KPS, or K0DPS, get that right, and cover any club business. Go ahead, Kevin, that's yours.
Well, Jim, thanks for taking the net tonight. First of all, I hope everybody's trying to stay cool with the hot weather that's come on, and the hot weather that's going to be record-breaking this week. So I hope everybody stays hydrated and can stay cool. First of all, the club with Wheat Ridge, the city of Wheat Ridge, conducted a siren test on June 9th. That went extremely well. We want to certainly thank all the volunteers that showed up to assist with that endeavor, since Wheat Ridge is one of our served agencies. So we certainly supported them in the fine fashion that the club always does. Next, as Jim said, this Wednesday is our club meeting, which is going to start at 1900 hours, and we have Bob, November 6th, Tango Victor, who's going to be talking about USB and serial interfaces, and that's not upper sideband, but that's universal serial bus, and serial interfaces for computers and the radios and the like. It should be a informative and entertaining presentation. That's this Wednesday, so if you don't have it on your calendar, go ahead and place it there. And if you're so inclined, the Learning Net starts at 1800 hours, goes for 45 to 50 minutes, and then we have our normal club meeting. And while I'm talking about the club meetings, I do want to give a shout out to W6OAV Bill for his efforts in arranging a fine array of speakers that give our club excellent presentations once a month. So if you have an opportunity and you see them, certainly give a shout out. It's certainly worthwhile. And lastly, field day is coming up this month, and I don't want to take too much of Darone's thunder, but it will be at the Prospect Horse Arena, which is at 13,805 West 52nd Avenue, which is going to be in the Arvada area. So if you have an opportunity to swing by, we certainly like to do a face-to-face QSO, and you have an opportunity to work some of the stations for field day. If you're so inclined and can't make it, do remember that the rules this year do allow you to operate from your home station and submit the logs to Drone so that the club can get credit. And also we received information from the state of Colorado, CDOT, that the I-70 and Ward Road on-ramps and off-ramps will be under potential construction during that period of time. So for those of you that are coming, you can take I-70, exit Kipling, go up 44th to Ward Road, and then north to 52nd to get to the site. Or alternatively, take I-70 to Highway 58, which goes into Golden by the Coors Brewery. Get off at McIntyre and go north to 52nd, then come back east into the site. So there are a good number of avenues to get to that site there.
W0TX repeater.
Other than that, I don't have any other club business unless anybody has any questions. Otherwise, I'll turn it back over to Jim, K0TOR. This is K0KPS.
All right, didn't hear anybody respond there, so Kevin, thank you very much. K0KPS is K0TOR. And next we'll have K1DBC, Daron, talk about field day. Go ahead, Daron, and that is yours.
All right, Jim, K0TR, this is K1DBC Daron. Yeah, thank you so much for all the information there, KPS and Jim as well. Yeah, as we put out in the previous weekend, there is a sign-up form on my website for operations. If you do want to operate on our club equipment, the three different main bands we have a sign-up schedule. Not too much sign-up going on at the moment, but that's fine. I understand the hesitancy. It's a little bit of an issue to sign up, but priority will be given to those who have signed up. That being said, the schedule is fairly open. I'll have it printed out and posted as well, so yeah, there shouldn't really be too much of an issue with that. People who want to camp can start showing up 4 to 5 p.m. or so, Friday the 25th. Map for operations and parking will be sent out within the week, and it'll be clearly posted and signed at the site as well. This is in a residential neighborhood, so we want to be very, very respectful of that during our load in and out operations, and as well as during our normal radio operations. Radio operations should begin, setup should begin around 9 or so a.m. Saturday morning, the 26th there. We already have a few people signed up for different volunteer shifts and slots, so definitely really appreciate that. More info to come throughout this week and leading up to that weekend. Definitely watch out for on our website w0tx.org/fieldday.htm. Let me drop for a moment. As well as there's a link on there to my website, k1dbc.com. /field day, or just on the main page there, there's a link there. A lot more info on there. As KPS mentioned, yeah, you can work, you can operate remotely under your own call sign and submit those logs to myself or the ARRL in the correct format to gain points for the club. I will be putting out more info on that. I appreciate the reminder on that as well, KPS. With that, though, I guess, again, this field day wouldn't have occurred if it weren't for the help from Mark, N0XRX, finding the site and help coordinate it as well. So really, really appreciate that. Hope in future years we'll have a much better organization with this, and we'll have a much better kind of event for you all. But with that being said, though, I'll throw it back to Jim, K0TOR. This is K1DBC.
K1DBC, Daron, this is K0TOR. Yes, a couple things I'll add to that. I did go up and visit the site yesterday, and it looks like we have a good site there. Couple things. One, I made an approximation measurement, not anything precise, I guess, but pretty close. And there are two exercise rings for horses, and the one furthest to the north from that extreme boundary of that that area south to the entrance into that park is roughly 1,000 feet, and I think that's our limit that we have as far as spacing of antennas. So that gives us quite a bit of range. I don't have any idea whether we're going to have any horses being exercised during this weekend or not, but anything that we put up, any antennas and such, is certainly going to be high enough that that's going to not interfere with them. So, but that gives us quite a bit of area. It's a kind of a narrow rectangle piece of property, and there are houses that back up right against that to the east. So anything with any kind of noise and such as the Salvation Army canteen probably should be on the far west side of the park there, so that we can reduce the noise as much as possible to those residents along that area. But looks like it's wide open, and I guess we do have it. Look like we have some. I'm not sure if there are lights around the horse arena there, but some poles up there, but that shouldn't be a problem. I think our antennas will be above that as well. But anyways, looks like it should be a good site, and look forward to that, and look forward to being able to see everybody again. That's a big plus. So, appreciate everything you're doing, Lord Drone. It's a big help, and we look forward to seeing everyone here in a couple of weeks. So this K02R, and don't see anybody else that had traffic. Have anybody else with comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call out. Although, all right, some further information in regards to the siren test. As Kevin mentioned, things went well, and I certainly want to thank everybody that helped out as well. It's quite an effort, and it's one that the city of Wheat Ridge certainly appreciates, as does Lakewood when we support theirs. And we got some real hearty thanks from Dwayne at Wheat Ridge for the work that we do, and how well we conduct ourselves and such, and going through and verifying the sirens and evaluating the site status and such. So appreciate all your help, and appreciate Kevin's comments as well. All right, one more call. We have anybody else with any comments, information, or business for the net? Please call out. All right, I'll now review the next weekend's contest and upcoming Hamfests, and unfortunately, we don't have anything here in the future that I see that, in regards to Hamfest, it takes a while to get those organized, so it's probably going to be a while after the restrictions for COVID-19 are lifted before we can get enough planning and organization going. Many of us start a year ahead of time, so hopefully we won't have to wait the full year, but it's going to take a good 6 months or more, I think, to get everything arranged and try and get out notification to the hams and such. So we'll keep an eye on it and see what comes out. The contest for this weekend coming up, the first one I have on the list is the All Asian DX contest. That begins on June 19th at 0 hour Zulu, goes through June 20th until 23:59 hours Zulu. That's on 160 through 10 meters, and that is a CW contest. Next, we have the Ukrainian DX Classic RTTY contest. That begins on June 19th at 1200 hours Zulu, goes until June 20th until 11:59 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and of course that's a digital contest. Next, we have the IARU Region 1, 50 and 70 megahertz contest. That begins on June 19th at 1400 hours Zulu, goes through June 20th until 1400 hours Zulu. That's on 6 meters and 70 centimeters, and that's a CW phone and digital contest. Next, we have the Stu Perry Top Band Challenge. That begins on June 19th at 1500 hours Zulu, goes through June 20th until 1500 hours. That's on 160 meters, and that is a CW contest. Next, we have the Stu Perry Top Band Challenge. That begins on June 19th at 1500 hours Zulu, goes through June 20th until 1500 hours. And that's on 160 meters. That's CW contest. Next, we have the West Virginia QSO Party. That begins on June 19th at 1600 hours Zulu, goes through June 20th until 0400 hours Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that is a CW phone and digital contest. Next, the Fell to Hell Sprint begins on June 19th at 1800 hours Zulu, goes through June 19th until 1959 hours Zulu. That is on 160 through 6 meters. That is a digital contest. And next we have the ARRL Kids Day. That begins on June 19th at 1800 hours Zulu. That goes until June 19th until 2359 hours Zulu. And let's see, it looks like that's all the HF bands, 80 through 10 and 2 meters, and that's repeaters on 2 meters, and that's a phone contest. And that's a great one for being able to get on and get some of the kids indoctrinated and interested in this fantastic hobby. So if you get a chance to get on and chat with some kids, I think you'll make their day. And next we have the WAB 50 megahertz phone. That begins on June 20th at 0800 hours Zulu, go through June 20th until 1400 hours Zulu. That is on 6 meters, and that's a phone contest. And lastly, we have Run for the Bacon QRP contest. That begins on June 20th at 2300 hours Zulu, goes through June 21st until 0100 hours Zulu. That's on 160 through 10 meters, and that is a CW contest. Couple reminders, High Noon Net, they meet daily at 12 noon with early check-ins beginning at 11:30. They meet on a frequency of 7.240 megahertz, which is on a 40-meter band. And also the Salvation Army Saturnet, they meet at 1500 hours Zulu. That's 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. They meet Monday through Saturday on a frequency of 14.265 megahertz, which is on the 20-meter band. The Denver Radio Club maintains the following repeaters for use by all radio amateurs. The 147.330 megahertz with a positive offset, the 145.490 megahertz with a negative offset, the 224.380 megahertz with a negative offset, the 449.350 megahertz with a negative offset, the 448.625 megahertz with a negative offset, the 447.825 megahertz with a negative offset. Our digital turbo repeater operating on Brandmeister on 446.7875 megahertz with a negative offset. And our C4 FM digital repeater on 449.775 megahertz with a negative offset. The 447.825 megahertz repeater is configured for narrowband FM, and that requires a digital coded squelch of 073. There are two repeaters on 147.330 megahertz. Repeater in Lakewood requires a 100 hertz PL tone, and a second repeater located east near Franktown requires a 131.8 hertz PL tone. We have a second repeater on the same frequency out east to improve coverage along the Front Range and into the canyons. However, having two repeaters on the same frequency, we ask that you monitor the frequency to ensure neither is in use prior to making your call. The 449.350 megahertz repeater provides wide area coverage, and this repeater hosts our Echolink station, W0TX node number 4140. And the 448.625 megahertz repeater is linked with the 145.490 megahertz repeater. Repeater on 449.775 is a C4 FM digital only repeater. Each repeater requires a 100 hertz field tone for activation, except as noted, and each uses standard offsets. And for packet, we have the 145.050 megahertz gateway on 2 meters that is interconnected with the 14.105 megahertz gateway on 20 meters for packet QSO. And we have a 6 meter repeater on 53.09 megahertz with an input on 52.09 megahertz with a required 107.2 hertz field tone. Your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to participate in any of the many club activities, please contact our club president, Jerry Vilhauer, W0GV. And again, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome W6HTV Alex joining us this evening. Certainly invite Alex to join us any Sunday evening that he can. And I'd like to thank everyone for checking into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you all have a great week. 7-3. And tonight we had a total of 32 check-ins. And the Denver Radio Club Net is now closed at 9:17, and the repeater is available for regular use. This is K0TR Net Control Station. Please stand by a moment while I return the PL tone to the repeater.
PL on.
And this is K02R, and I'll be clear, and good night all.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in here. Yeah, again, more info on our website, W0TX.org, and you all have a good evening.